from their depths. This documentary will explain how blue holes are formed and why they are important. Today, we're near Little Harbor in the Abacos, Bahamas, and we are near a blue hole. And I am next to a memorial for 3 men who have died diving into one of the blue holes that we're next to. And the 3 men were Jason A. Kinsley, Matthew C. Fiedler, and Ryan C. Smith. According to Dr. Thomas Eilife of Texas A&M University, during the last several ice ages, the ocean's waters were frozen at both poles, and the water level dropped 400 feet. The Bahamas Bank and all of its keys were highly elevated above the ocean. As the rains fell, the fresh water found its way through the soft limestone, and caves and caverns were created from this natural erosion. Then the sinkhole appeared from the thin limestone caps collapsing from their own weights into the caverns below. As the earth warmed and the pole released the frozen seawater, the ocean levels rose back to the current state, and we now have blue holes. With methane hydrate bubbling through the ocean and into the atmosphere, the greenhouse effect began to warm the environment and the ice sheets began to melt. The major ocean currents began to move and help steady the Earth's temperatures. The ocean levels rose, and here we are, standing in front of a prehistoric sinkhole, 50+ feet deep straight down. This is known as an ocean blue hole. It is connected to the Atlantic via small and large horizontal caves. There are a number of other blue holes throughout this small area, which is known as the Bight of Old Robinson. It is also safe to say that the surrounding blue holes and these shallow areas could all be somehow connected together with a number of caves and tunnels. There is another type of blue hole located in the Bahamas. They are extremely unique and are called inland blue holes. These types of blue holes hold unique and often unknown life forms. These blue holes can be very hostile environments, and they often have very poor water conditions due to the lack of oxygen and layers of hydrogen sulfate. The salt water is capped by a layer of fresh water. There is virtually no mixing at this intersection layer. The fresh water is less dense than the salt, and there is essentially no mixing. Various types of crabs, shrimp, sea worms, and other water creatures have been found in the depths of these holes. Over the past few decades, scientists have found several microbial bacteria thriving in the depths of the inland blue holes. These areas have virtually zero light, and they feed on hydrogen sulfide and sulfate compounds. This is very interesting to planetary scientists. Why? Well, these conditions may possibly exist on Jupiter's icy moon of Europa, whose cracked floating surface is bombarded by its neighboring moon Io's volcanic sulfur-rich eruption. With these mysterious depths and unique habitats, legends and myths are created. These depths are a home to an unusual creature. It lives in the caves and caverns, and it rests during the daylight hours and comes out to hunt and feed at the twilight and the darkness. It is 75 feet long and has long tentacles and teeth. It is called the Lusca. Also, the Sci-Fi Channel show Destination Truth made an expedition to the Bahamas in search of the Lusca. They had a few personal experiences with something large in the depths, but were unable to catch it on video. Soon after, they created a movie, Sharktopus. In most legends come some truths. There may be some form of scientific proof to the Lusca. It is possible that the Lusca is a giant octopus or other cephalopod. There have been a number of octopus that have washed up on the shores of the Bahamas, so the Lusca may very well be an octopus. Geochemist Peter Swart at the University of Miami uses stalagmites to view the climate conditions of the past. By cutting the stalagmites with a diamond saw, he can see the rings left by the Earth's atmosphere. These stalagmites may give us a view into history of the climate changes and the speed of the changes over time. The stalagmites show us many global warming events. The rings are like the rings on a tree. We can see the temperature, rainfall, and other events by analyzing these rings. A threat of global warming, natural, not the made-up, man-made, may create a situation where the inland blue holes may be flooded with salt water. This would be devastating to the preserved history within the holes. The research will continue, and hopefully this research will benefit the ongoing search for life on other planets or moons. But one issue that is on the horizon is the preservation of these natural wonders. The inland blue holes can be affected by pollution, runoff, and people using them as trash dumps. Using common sense and the knowledge that we have about the unique caverns, caves, and holes, I hope we can educate the residents and tourists alike about the conservation of the natural wonders and possibilities that they hold for our space exploration and possible medical future.